for a while is Victor Anilaju, a public affairs analyst and convener, Help Campaign Nigeria. I want to say thank you very much for joining us here on Newsday.
Thank you.
It's good to have you back again.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, Nigerians, for watching. Thank you.
All right, so Victor, let's get straight into it. Subsidy removal. The day, as the day goes by, the countdown is on, and everyone seems to be drawing opinions about what the federal government wants to do in terms of the palliative or probably a buffer for citizens, 5,000 naira. Do you think it's the step in the right direction when you put in the cumulative costs?
Okay, so first of all, let's understand the dynamics of subsidy. They have told us many times that the landing cost of our refined products is very high. And if we have to go by the landing costs, will be sold for about 280, 300 naira. So the government had to come in to pay part of it while the citizens pay part of it. So that's where we are able to buy our fuel for about 165, 170. Now the government want to take away that part that they have been paying for us. And to say the way it is, subsidy has its own advantage and its own disadvantage. Taking away that subsidy has its own advantage and disadvantage.
Which is?
So part of the advantages, when you take it away, you have enough money to build infrastructures.
Okay.
Right? But the cost falls down on the people to pay that exact amount that the government is taking away. Now, if we look at it as at today, look at what is going on in Nigeria as at today, our inflation rate is high. And from observation and from incidents that have happened before, whenever there is a fuel increase, inflation goes up very high. Every commodity, transportation, commodity, feeding commodity, books, everything goes high, even down to rent, even down to manpower, even down to services, commodity, everything will now go on the high, right? And we don't want inflation at this time, because right now our economy is being plagued by the pandemic. Our economy is being plagued by the insincerity of our leaders. Now, I've said that to establish a fact. The problem with us right now, it's not the removal of fuel subsidy. Number one problem is that we, the people, we don't trust our leaders to be able to use this money, if it is removed from the subsidy, judiciously. That is the biggest problem. Now, the problem is not really about whether there's subsidy or not. The problem is the leaders. We don't trust them. So if they tell us today they have been able to save 1 trillion naira, which before now you know they have been saying a lot of this, that they have saved this, we're investing XYZ billions of dollars into refinery so that we can have enough products that is refined here in Nigeria that will bring down the cost. And for over 4 decades, which is like 40 years now, we'll be hearing that. And still, after taking the money to work on the refinery, we've not seen that reduction in petroleum products. So my best advice to the government today, don't remove the subsidy, but change the channel at which you give out subsidy. So instead of giving those that import the subsidy, those that import the products, the refined product, the fuel into the country, instead of giving them the subsidy, why don't you give the filling stations that sell these products the subsidy? Because you know why? One of the problems we still face is that there are some importers that import this product, one product, but they will use it to collect subsidy like 3 to 4 times. And some of the product that is being imported into Nigeria are being sold in neighboring countries. So after they've used the product to collect subsidy, they take it to neighboring countries to sell. So instead of doing that, why don't you give this subsidy directly to the filling stations in Nigeria that sells this product? So anybody that is buying product outside Nigeria, you don't get subsidy. And that will manage it. We know that the government needs money. But right now, we don't trust the government. See, the trust thing is not just there. So telling us that you are taking away subsidy, we've heard this over time. We were told they've removed it partially, hoping that the price will come down. but nowhere. So for me, it's a matter of trust, not matter of the amount, whether they're giving 5,000 or whether they are giving 10,000. We're not even sure. If Nigerians are sure that 40 million people will receive that money, if we are 100% sure, I tell you, we will not be saying don't remove it. But I don't think they should give it to people who are not buying fuel. They should put it away that if you buy fuel, you get that money as a way of subsidy.
That actually makes a lot of sense, the proposal that you're putting forth. But we actually know the reality that is on ground. We're not going to be able to build our trust in the government in just a year or two, you know. And the subsidies are going to be removed.
Yeah. But let me just chip in there. Let me just chip in there.
Okay, go ahead.
I am a fintech expert. If the government is ready today, we can give them a solution that can make sure everybody that buys a single liter of fuel in Nigeria, you get your subsidy for that fuel. We can do that in America. They have what we call tax refund. Why don't we have fuel refund as subsidy? When you buy fuel, you have refunds to your account. I've been in the digital world for over 25 years. It will not take us more than a month to create that application that will solve this problem, because majority of our problem is still the importers. They take this money and they use it for something else. So the problem is not, like I said, it's not totally waiver, it's to change where you are giving this subsidy to give it direct to the consumers. So I buy 1 liter, I get my subsidy for that 1 liter. So if they're saying, okay, your subsidy is 250 naira, if you buy a liter of fuel for 300 naira, you get 150 naira back to your account. That digital platform that can help solve that within a month. In fact, before the 1st of January 2022, we'll be able to launch out that platform. Every Nigerian that buys a single liter of fuel within Nigeria will get back the subsidy reversal.
So, Victor, like I said, the reality is the government is saying that they will pay this 5,000 naira to the Nigerian populace. How do you think this will play out?
It actually will not solve any problem. Rather, it will create more problems.
How so?
Because the people that drive our price and markets are not the poor people. The landlord that will increase your rent is not the poor person. But immediately you increase for your landlord will increase rent, and your landlord is not getting 5,000 naira. And 5,000 naira add to your money will not cover up for the increment. So that is why I said, I want this money to go around, but let it go directly to you, the consumer. So for every liter of fuel that I'm buying, I am getting my subsidy back. And that way we'll be able to balance it. It will look as if maybe you'd not even spend, you are still buying in the rate of the 160, 170. The supermarkets that put up the price of commodity are not the ones getting back the 5,000 naira. So you find out that the inflation will just be overbearing, and the 5,000 naira stipend cannot even sustain. What with 5,000 naira? 5,000 naira as at today is less than $10. Yeah. So you could see that it itself cannot really sustain us. And the truth about it is that I feel the government is moving towards the wrong direction. They are still doing the same thing again. So you start hearing people talking about they are going on strike. You start hearing people talking about there's going to be an increase in commodity. So you've already sent out tension. I thought the government would have sat down, get the people driving our price of commodity together, and say, okay, how do we solve this problem? Get the landlords, get the transport users and transport owners, get those who are providing services to say, okay, how do we sit down and see how we can do some reshuffling and making sure that there is no increase. But I am still towards the focus that we should not remove subsidy, but we should focus the subsidy towards the consumers.
I want to say many thanks to you, Victor,
for
spending time today and helping us try to chart a course.
Thank you, sir.
It's inevitable. It's coming.
Yeah.
All right.
Help is coming. Thank you.
Okay.
One day we'll get there.
Okay. So